Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are currently working our way through finding ourselves some territory here. We're also hoping to run into some enemies, or maybe not hoping to for a while. I keep saying enemies. I guess they might be enemies, but they also might not be. We have no real way to know at this point. We've got our construction ship down here in Katana. Of course, it's waiting for this this science ship to come on back. That'll be fine. The Theta Menace, huh? Well, we'll go ahead and do some first contact. This is a station. Okay. So this is like the Curator Order or a Merchant's Guild or something like that. We'll see. We'll see what we've got there. That'll be absolutely fine. And of course, we've got quite a number of ways to go as the hyperspace lanes are laying. We can head up this way, we can go up this way, we can go down here, and then head down that direction. No connections over here, but this goes down here, and then this comes up here. This goes up here, like that. There's just a lot that we can work on. Ballista has been surveyed, so we're going to push up over this direction. We're just going in a line for right now. And that is, of course, the Theta Menace. No concerns there for right now. However, our corvettes are done. So that means that we can go after the ancient mining drones over here. We could also potentially go after the subspace anomaly. We may end up losing the initial encounter, and we would have to rebuild if that was the case. So that's definitely something to think about. Our corvettes are not amazingly strong at this time. Speaking of which, how are they even set up? Indeed. That's not amazingly strong. So we're actually going to make a new Corvette design, and we're going to have this be, I think, a picket ship. I like to have our Corvettes be picket ships, just because I do definitely like to be able to have some point defense on them, and I think that we will go for Sentinel point defense. As far as weaponry, the question becomes, what are we going to be up against? We know that down here, it's primarily shields. For the mining drones, they don't have shields at all. So that's definitely a bit of a concern. For now, let's just go with lasers, which will, of course, do... Actually, that's less damage to shields. For now, let's go with mass drivers. There we go. No upgrades to be done over here. And then, as far as components down here go, I believe that having deflectors on a Corvette is an objectively bad thing. Why? Because, sure, it adds 50 hit points, but it removes evasion. And evasion is, in my opinion, the primary way that Corvettes stay alive. So all I do is I plop on nano composite armor, which gives us the same 50 hit points, to be clear. In a different type, yes, but it's the same amount of hit points without sacrificing evasion. So that is fantastic. And we're not going to auto-generate designs. We're just going to save this as the Overlord of... Actually, Judge of the Abyss. Perfect. And we'll get rid of the Magistrate of the Stars. There we go. And these guys need to be upgraded. That will not cost very much. And in fact, a lot of those are already done, apparently. Why is this only upgrading 3? I'm not sure why. Maybe because... Yeah, that's all Judge of the Abyss class Corvettes. Very strange. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and build mining stations over here. This construction ship is not yet ready to constructinate. That's okay. Due to a major clerical error, parts of Tadasca Prime has fallen behind in infrastructure maintenance and accommodation services. The people live in rather bleak conditions and will not tolerate it for long. Remedying these problems will cost us time and effort. Okay. So a couple of tile blockers popping in on Tadasca Prime. Sure. Seems to be okay. Looking at this constellation over here, we can see there's a way out over here, here, and here. We don't know too much information about that just yet, but we know that there's going to be a lot of branching happening out here. There's our pop growth speed and gene clinics. That's fantastic. We're very happy about that. Sensors have picked up rhythmic movement on the hellish surface of Seoberg B1A. We'll leave that be for now. Excellent. And we're just going to continue surveying out over this direction. We've picked up readings of unknown nature. The signals seem to follow some kind of repeating syntax, which could indicate sapient origin. It should be investigated further. They seem to be concentrated around a single space station, though it's unclear whether this forms part of a larger spacefaring civilization. Okay, well, we'll take a look at that. Despite the toxic content and high pressure of this planet's atmosphere, strong life signs have been detected coming from its surface. We'll come back for that, absolutely. This construction ship, not really doing any constructionation at this time. We're going to head down to Atraitus and build a starbase down there. Our influence is doing better, but not great. But we do have a fair amount of time at this point before Gatana is going to be ready to be surveyed. Or actually, that's going to be done quite soon, now that I look at it. I guess that's okay. No real issue there. So when we look at what we have claimed right now, we have this entire constellation is ours, guaranteed. Up here, this entire constellation is guaranteed ours. This one down here is not yet guaranteed. Taking Atraitus and this system would guarantee it. Up over this way, this entire constellation is guaranteed to us, which includes this, since that's a dead end. This up this way is not really a constellation, but more of a connector. And it looks to me, well, we need more information on what's going on out here. This constellation, we would need to push down here. And we can actually upgrade the rest of these now. I guess it was just not letting us do it because we didn't have the alloys. We'll go ahead and do that. This constellation, we would definitely need to take this subspace anomaly out. So that is something that we are working on doing. And our military fleet will be ready to go eventually. The surface of this asteroid is littered with metallic debris. Most of it appears to originate from starships of many different designs. We'll leave that be for now. And Katana will be done being surveyed momentarily. There we go. So at this point, we're going to survey our way down this way. We have to go around Estrian, which is not ideal. We'll just do that for now. Okay, sounds good. We've got a decent chunk of space carved out for ourselves here. Unfortunately, we are lacking in ocean worlds. We are going to have to clean those up. And by clean those up, I mean spread water all over them. So we're going to make our way on over this way, see what we can glean as far as this hyperspace lane goes. Atraitus has been grabbed, and we will build our mining stations there. We do need to continue to push our way up this direction. We need another science ship, though, and we will definitely get one. The measured surface temperature, Beta Stephani 5, is in the hundreds of degrees, despite its frozen surface. What else could be causing these discrepancies? Indeed, we will look into that, but not now. We need to wait for a month tick. There we go, and we will queue ourselves up a science ship, but that will not be until after we're done upgrading all of these ships. That is completely fine. We're already over our admin cap. We don't really care about admin cap. Admin cap is really designed to be exceeded, in my opinion. So that's okay. No real problems there. Our next science ship is, of course, going to come out this way, and actually, there is a hyperspace lane going down here. I was going to say, is there no connection here? But I think that there definitely is. We'll keep an eye on that for now, but we need to plan what systems we want to grab carefully at this point. This barren and lifeless world is showing signs of once having supported a biosphere. Cool. We'll check that out in a bit. Our upgrades are finishing now. Oh, our first contact event has finished up. Ah, the curators.
We are being contacted by aliens.
Greetings, Star Travelers. We are the Curators. Our ancient order was established eons ago by the various galactic powers in ascendancy at the time. We were dedicated towards the preservation of all knowledge in an effort to safeguard the galaxy from descending into yet another dark age of mass extinctions and barbarism. We failed. Few of us remain today, but we're no less committed to our sacred mission than our predecessors were. We're willing to share some of our knowledge with you for a price. Indeed they are, and that is fantastic. We're really, really glad about us. Can you aid us in our research? We want to purchase their service. It's only going to cost us 1,000 energy credits right now for 10% research speed for 10 years. That is unfathomably huge how important this is. So we're doing it. And the fact that we have their station in a system that we are guaranteed to get, that is just the icing on a cake. I love it. Absolutely wonderful. Now we're very low on our number of settled worlds. There's no doubt about that. The planetary body, Beta Stephani 9, appears to be covered in some manner of grayish substance, possessing strange properties and varying metallic composition. We'll look into that later. We're about to get our science chip done. These guys have finished upgrading. We're going to send them over to Estrion to clear up this subspace anomaly, hopefully.
We grow ever stronger.
Ah, an archaeological site over here. Always good. Hadrikas has finished its construction. Now, where do we want to go? Well, we definitely want to build in Katana since there's a gateway there. There's absolutely no doubt about that. We'll have this science chip just chill for a bit. And this science chip requires a leader. I would like, honestly, archaeology excavation speed will be okay later, but that's not great right now. We're going to come down over this way. It'll take us time to get there. And that's completely fine. Now, we actually can move here, surprisingly, without walking in with the science chip first. So let's see what happens with our sensors when we do that.
Space charts updated.
Okay, we finished Gathrika. We're heading up this direction. We can see that there's a connection here, which is likely a dead end. And this would dead end over here then. Fascinating. We like dead ends, to be clear. Dead ends are really good, and this actually dead ends up here. We've detected the presence of a pre-space alien civilization on Zorf 1 in the Zorf system, which is over here. Atmospheric contaminants and light pollution visible from orbit are consistent with a densely populated machine-age society. They appear to have mastered air travel, and factories are mass-producing goods in their cities. We should consider building an observation post above their world to study them more closely, and indeed we should. So we now know that this dead ends over here, this dead ends up here, which means that taking the Sabtrox system becomes a very high priority for us, because that guarantees all of these over here. As soon as we're done in the Katana system, we're going to start making our way up there. That becomes very important. We also now know that we don't need to continue going this direction unless there's a connection. Oh, there's a connection here. So that means that we need the Sabtrox system, and we also need this system. Or perhaps this one. This dead ends. So this system becomes a necessity. We're already moving up that way, so that's fine. I do think that we should head over this direction with this science trip at this point. These guys, they're kind of filling in our backline right now, but I want them to come up over here and do some exploration this way. We can fill in this backline later once we know what our final borders look like. So that's fine. We have some substantial land grab areas to head towards, and we are absolutely going to need to come up here like so. Now, these guys, they may not have the influence to construct in Hyadam. That's okay. We do, however, require housing on Tadasca Prime, and to that end, we're going to build a city district. That will also net us a building slot, and that building slot will be filled with a gene clinic. Absolutely. Now, we're a little bit short on food. In Hearthsea, we can build an agriculture district. That will solve that. Fantastic. So our science chips are kind of being redirected a little bit here. It'll take them some time to get to these locations.
Space charts updated.
But we definitely want to know what's down this way, because these constellations are fairly open right now. We want to make as much land grab as we can. Essentially, we want to grab as little territory in each constellation as possible for now, until such a time as the constellation is guaranteed ours. So that's why we're not going after this system. That's why we're not going after this system. We will come back to those. Right now, we want to grab strategically important systems that guarantee us other systems. That is our primary goal. And I don't even care, necessarily, what resources are in those systems at this time. I just want systems. We're going to hop down over here, fight the subspace anomaly. We are equipped well for it. So in theory, we should be okay. Looking up here, we see exits up this way and over this way. Okay. That's fine for now. How long until we arrive here? Still a few days, looks like. Okay. We are definitely expecting to take losses here, to be clear.
What have we here?
A large impact crater has been discovered that does not seem to be a natural occurrence. Cool. We will come back for that. So you can see here, these guys have no armor, only shielding. Let's see what we've got. We are equipped to deal with them. We shouldn't lose this, in theory.
Give them a broadside.
You can see our lasers just chunking through those shields. And actually, it did like no damage to us. It did shoot down one Corvette. But you can see our evasion doing very well for us right now. We have dealt with the hostile subspace entity that our missing probe had attracted. Why such a creature would be drawn to an archaic unmanned spacecraft is a mystery, but the probe appears to be largely undamaged. It has been recovered by our forces, and we have extracted detailed survey readings on the entire Estrion from its memory banks. I feel like that needs a system, but okay. In addition, the residual energy left behind by the subspace anomaly has generated a large amount of valuable physics data for our scientists. Excellent. We have successfully collected all of our missing sublight probes. The detailed information they held on our culture is now safe from prying alien photoreceptors. With our combined sensor telemetry, we've been able to fully survey a number of additional neighboring systems. Cool. Okay. So at this point, we need to reinforce this fleet and send it back for repairs. This construction ship is going to build mining stations over here, and then it's going to push up this arm over this way. We know that grabbing this system is of vital importance to us. We don't know what's out over this way just yet.
Our lookouts have detected.
We've detected life signs coming from somewhere beneath the barren and lifeless surface of this planet. What manner of organism could possibly live there? We'll find out later. Okay. Of course, this means that we can move down this way at this point. But yeah, that definitely netted us quite a lot of surveys over here. I think. Maybe. This science ship, we want to head up this way. Actually, yeah, head here, and that'll give us some information on what's going on over here. Looks like this is a new constellation over this way, so that should be fine. But this here is definitely extremely important to us. We need to take Sabtrok, ideally Bartiam, and up here, this system would be the one that we want to make our goal for this construction ship. We would love to have a third construction ship working on some of this, but we just can't afford the influence costs at this time. So we're heading over to Hyadum, and we're hoping that we'll have the influence by the time we get there. We'll see. That is definitely a question. Reinforcements are on the way over here. We're probably going to want to refit these to fight the ancient drones. And in order to do that, they don't have shields. They only have armor. So if we wanted to do that, we should swap our mass drivers over to lasers. And we'll save that. Technically, we should have done that before constructing the 2 new ships. But I guess that's okay. We're going to survey up this way. We, once again, want to have information on what's going on with the hyperspace lanes up here. It's all going to be very, very important to us.
Our lookouts have detected an anomaly.
Our sensors indicate odd irregularities in Shukan's energy emission pattern. We'll leave that be. Excellent. And there is a Gaia world here. There's something to be considered there as well. Repeated scans of Hiamet 4A's surface give inconsistent sensor readings, almost as if the planet itself was in a constant state of upheaval. We'll research that. We know for a fact that we have quite a number of constellations here, and realistically, we're already a pretty decently sized nation if we manage to grab what we think we can. But I want more. Colony development speed of 50%, always nice. Improved deflectors would not be terrible. We are already partway through that, so let's go ahead and grab that. So these guys are on their way currently to repair, allegedly, but we're going to move them to upgrade instead. It's like those guys actually had armor bypass. Didn't realize that, but okay. That's good to know for these guys up here, which I think are going to be largely the same.
Space charts updated.
Okay, so that is the Periplus ready to go. We can see that there's definitely a number of connections over here. This is definitely entering multiple constellations. Let's head up this direction for right now. We're not necessarily going to be able to get all of these far-flung constellations, but I certainly want to get this under our control. There's no doubt about that. The fact that we haven't run into any enemies yet is very interesting to me. This would be a great system for us to grab. This one would also be good.
A system has been charted.
This one would also be a good one. Just in terms of hyperspace lanes. Okay, we need to continue heading southward over here, and we'll see what we can get. We may want to reprioritize where we go once we find enemies, so... And by enemies, I mean neighbors. Corvette build speeds and build costs. That's great. Ah. We'll look at that in a moment. Okay, so Corvette hull points is pretty good. We'll go for that for now. Zacapa Menace. I don't actually see anything here. We'll start working on a first contact with them. But I don't see anything.
Ever stronger.
Okay. Well, we finished our construction over here. These guys are going to build their mining and research stations and then move over to Tatanga. And then this guy will move up to Belgium, which he'll get started on right now, apparently. Canyons deep enough to be seen from orbit furrow the surface of Shedi 2, yet the planet is as dry as a dust bowl. What could have happened to the water that once so profoundly carved Shedi 2's stone? We'll leave that be. We'll come back to it. We're absolutely going to take faith in science to reduce our researcher upkeep. That's always nice. And that means that we get an ascension perk. Technological ascendancy is too good. I believe that it is too good to pass up. I really dislike taking this as my first ascension perk every single game. But when I look at what the other options are, I'm just like, it's so good. You have to take it. There is no option there, in my opinion. It has to be technological ascendancy. Because if we go into here, that ends up netting us 10% plus an additional 10% research speed. Plus we have the curators for an additional 10% research speed. If we look at our researches right now, 46%, 51%, 56%. We've also got the 5% from Administrator AI. And, I mean, this guy's got Spark of Genius, this guy's got Maniacal. But, yeah, it's so good. It is so good. It speeds up our research to an incredible degree. Can't pass that one up. We're going to continue upgrading these. Excellent.
Ships ready for action.
And with those upgraded, we're going to head up and fight the ancient mining drones. We'll get there eventually. We're not in any real rush. Of course, we can't take out the Guardians of Zanam just yet. And we also can't fight the subspace anomalies up there. Glowing webs of an unknown origin periodically illuminate the surface of Shedi 1. We'll figure that out later. Okay. Looking down here, this would be an absolutely great system to take defensively. We like that. There's a new election going on. We don't really necessarily care. Things seem to be going very well for now. Now, this may actually be another civilization down here. We'll see. A cursory scan of the planet's surface reveals a weak signal pulsing into the darkness of space. We'll leave that be for now. And of course, the Periplus needs to move. We'll just send it up over this way for now. And check out what's going on over here. This looks like this is still within the same constellation to me because these are connected like that. So yeah, that'll be fine.
Taking evasive action.
Ancient mining drones up here. Okay, good to know. Instead, we'll head over here.
We grow ever stronger.
There's our orbital researcher mandate fulfilled, so 85 unity.
There is new
Always nice.
information in the
And what is
situation
our
log.
new mandate? Let's see. Bringing our monthly energy credit surplus up to at least 20 per month. It's at 34. Cool. We can actually do drone research, and we should probably do that. We'll go ahead and do that.
We grow ever
The inquiry into the unidentified spacecraft that was observed in the air-docked system continues, but insufficient data has been collected to make an informed hypothesis as to the exact origin of the vessel. Since we're likely dealing with a representative of a previously unknown alien civilization, efforts should be made to intercept the communications and begin a comprehensive analysis of their language. We'll keep at it. That looks like a civilization to me. We'll see where their borders are. But that is something for next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.